Hello people, this video is for a school presentation and today we'll be looking to the specifics and the science of what caused the Chernobyl explosion. On April 26, 1986 was the day as tests were scheduled to be done on the reactor to see if the wind turbines could provide enough power until the diesel generators would turn on in case power stopped coming in through the grid. However, the day before the test was to happen, the reactor was running on 1600 megawatts, which is half of the 3200 megawatts the reactor was designed for. This was because the grid needed more power on that day, so less power was going to the reactor. This caused a large buildup of Xenon 135, which is a very effective neutron absorbent which decreases nuclear reactivity. So when the operators who had just changed shifts managed to stall the reactor, the power levels took a nosedive to about 30 megawatts, which was way below the power needed to run the test. Also put the reactor into a state where it would be really hard to put the power back up to what was needed to run the test, because as stated before, the Xenon 135 would destroy and soak up any new power that was added into the reactor. Also, due to this low power, water, which would normally be getting boiled, was soaking up neutrons, which may bring up the power even harder. However, the lead engineer, who decided to pull all the control rods and put in pieces of graphite in the place, which would increase reactivity, but however, this is very dangerous, and as there'd be nothing stopping the reactor from completely blowing up. Once this was done, they were able to get the reactor up to 200 megawatts, but despite this being well below the 700 megawatts needed to run the test, they still started it anyway. Because of the fact so many control rods were removed, this caused the core to be very sensitive to any changes, so when the wind turbines were turned on, boiling the water, it caused less neutrons to be absorbed, therefore more reactivity, which causes more water to be boiled, and so on and so forth, which causes a huge spike in reactivity. When the engineers realized what was happening, they pressed the AZ5 switch, which was supposed to completely shut off the reactor and putting it at 0% of its capacity. The way this would be done was by inserting the control rods very quickly. However, because the engineers had put graphite in place for the control rods, this would mean that the control rods would have to push the graphite down closer to the core. By doing this would enhance the reactivity of the core and for a couple seconds, and during those couple of seconds the power level rose so high it caused a massive explosion about 3 to 5 megatons, and a second explosion was caused when the zirconium touched the oxygen, and that caused an explosion about 2 to 4 megatons. The final readings that were available showed the reactor was running at 33 gigawatts, which was 10 times what the reactor was made to handle. I will now show you a 2020 colorized version of the Chernobyl explosion. That is all I have for today, so until next time, see ya.